motivation is a daily event that you have to look at yourself in the mirror, and you've got to have your dream board. You've got to have your goals. You've got to have your targets.
You might have to take notes on this bitch. Hey, welcome back to my Famous and Wealthy podcast, man. Today we have JJC Automation. Anybody that don't know what automation is, what is automation?
So there's a lot of mundane tasks that go into running an e-commerce store, right?
Yeah.
So what we do is use of technology and software. We go through your store from the listing A to Z, start to finish, and we automate a lot of processes. So us as service providers or managers for your store, it helps us leverage that and cuts down the work. And you as the owner, you cash the checks, you watch your bank accounts, you do a few ID verifications, and you scale it up. So you provide the capital for the inventory, and we scale it up. So you set the ceiling.
So somebody that's watching that's trying to get started, what would they need to do?
They need to, number one, contact us, because that's big. We've been in this industry since 2008.
Wow.
Only doing e-commerce, right? Even when eBay was big.
Okay.
So, and then when Amazon come on board, they've got the lion's share of everything right now. They're so far ahead with their reporting and technology. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then Walmart's right up there too. So if you're looking to really scale and have 3 new revenue streams, and you want to have a franchise of your online store, leverage the same distributors that I set up for the one, why not duplicate that across 2 other marketplaces?
Right,
Because everybody keeps them simple, right? So if you're a customer of Amazon, you shop on Amazon. If you're a customer of Walmart, you're going to shop on Walmart. eBay, same as eBay.
Right.
Very little crossover between the customer bases. And so you have a whole new audience. It's just like social media in that respect, where you've got Facebook, you've got IG, you've got TikTok, whatever. They all have separate audiences. Same thing about e-commerce marketplaces.
So does it cost a lot to actually blow the store up, like as far as marketing?
So marketing, no. Most of the marketing doesn't even have to happen, and we keep it at a very low percentage to make sure that you have the best ROI. So, historical. Obviously, there's no guarantees in business because you're talking about retail, right? But historically, we've been able to average 5 to 8% in the beginning, all the way up to 12 to 15. Wholesale can do 20 to 30% return on that inventory capital. So to blow it up, you're going to set the ceiling based on how much spend you have.
So you guys been doing this since 2008?
Yes, that's 008.
Wow, that's so y'all professionals.
Well, we hope to be.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know if you ever become an expert, because there's always stuff to learn.
It's always changing. So
Yes.
From 2008 all the way to 2024, how much change have you seen
Massive.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Amazon first launched and they were music and books only.
Right.
So they never thought about sellers. eBay was the big monster that was out there putting a ton of money into their marketing, expanding their marketplaces, really focused in on eBay Motors. But we were doing millions and millions of dollars, over $35 million a year.
Wow.
Just on eBay. And so then you're expanding that across Walmart and Amazon when they come on board, getting products into Walmart on their stores. So Walmart's still a closed marketplace, so you have to apply for it. But the beauty of what their store is you can be in their store. So like your product, if your merch that you want to sell, if it goes really good on Walmart.com, they bring you in on the end caps, and you come into their stores across not just the United States. Wow. They're a global store. So
wow, that's amazing. So how did you guys end up being partners?
So
we're husband and wife first.
Yeah, husband and wife first. So I was doing some work for her, and I guess charmed her a little bit.
So Jeremiah is my rock. He does super good at data, right? So I require a lot of data. Over the course of my tenure, I've built a huge network across the world for manufacturers. So if you want a product made, I got the guy for it, I got the country for it, even if it's domestic as well. So he can put together all the spreadsheets and the data. So you're scraping all that information from the software, putting it out, giving it to me in a pivot table so it's beautiful and it looks easy to read.
Yeah.
And then I just go out and find who can make this product.
Yep, software is key.
Yes, it's huge. So he's the accounting, tech, and data guy. And I just get to talk about it.
Yeah, that's what's up. So what's the most money y'all think y'all done generated over the years?
Over the years?
Yeah,
if I added them all up.
Yeah.
You're looking at over 100 million, and then several hundred million if you include the client stores.
Wow.
So
how much money you think goes back into your business? Like, let's say if you make $100 million, how much money would you think go back into it?
So we always invest into it. So we have our own warehouse. So you've got racking, you've got fork trucks, you've got employees, warehouse management systems, so WMS. So we house your returns too. That's part of the process that we handle. So when your returns come in, if they're open box, Jeremiah has developed software. So as soon as it's open box, meaning that I can't sell it as a new, right? So you scan it when it comes in, the open box listing automatically populates, and then it can just go right over on the shelf. And then when that open box listing sells, they know where to go get it. And then you're getting your same ROI as you would have, even if it had never been returned.
Right.
Because that was the biggest problem what people are having is returns. Returns eat into your profit. So most people don't know what to do with returns. So we figured out a way to actually make money off the returns.
Oh, exactly.
And then the worst case scenario, so let's say the open box doesn't sell. We also have some foundations out there that we donate the product to, and then you get a slip for your taxes so that you donated the product, and you help families out in the meantime.
Okay. That sounds pretty cool. I mean, so if I wanted a mentorship, what would you charge me?
So mentorship's a little bit different depending on where you're at with your store or stores, right? Or if you're just beginning. So if you're just beginning, I'm at a much lower cost because I want you to understand the foundational purposes and reasons behind everything first. Runs anywhere from $100 to $500 an hour.
Okay.
When you're doing that, and that's just beginning. Now, if you already have a store and you're having issues, whether it's intellectual property issues or store issues, those are on a case-by-case basis, and it's really hard to quote. For our single marketplace solution, which I would always recommend you opening up Amazon because it's the largest. Yeah. It's $35,000 for the onboarding fee, and then we do an 80-20 split, and we bill you once a quarter.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
So for everybody that's watching, can you let them know how important mentorship is?
It's massively. Motivation is a daily event. It's just like taking a shower, right? You have to do it every day. Mm-hmm. And if you don't motivate yourself or motivate others, even if it's your clients coming in, they're having a bad day because of their personal life or something that they're going on in their other business, you have to listen to them first and then, give them some ray of hope, because there's not enough hope in the world to make the world go round, essentially. Yeah. So if you're motivating people every day, it motivates yourself. And if you pour into other people every day, you have to pour into yourself. Otherwise, you go empty. And so reading books and finding people that you align with that have the same morals and ideals is hugely important, because that's how you learn. I mean, if the 5 to 10 people that you're spending time with every single day always pull from you and drain you, how do you get filled back up? Exactly. So you got to get poured back into, and mentors are massive to do that. Yeah. You look at you look at all the athletes that are out there. They don't just have a coach for their body. They have a coach for their mind. They have a coach for their soul, essentially, because their mindset has to be to perform at that high of a level. Right. So you have to have a coach or mentor that you bounce ideas and talk with. I would imagine it's because you're at a high level and you need to maintain that and continue to grow and scale, right?
Exactly, yes.
We do as well. It's not just about the business. We do networking events to stay up, on top of everything that goes on in the marketplaces, but you have to stay on top of what's going on in your mind so that you can continue to scale.
Right. So as far as, back in 2000, and y'all started in 2008, right?
Yep.
Okay. What were you guys doing in 2006, 2007?
So we both have a little varied backgrounds. Yeah. My father was a builder, and then in the 80s when real estate crashed, he and my mother opened up a restaurant. Yeah. So for 25 years, I was born and raised in a restaurant and worked my way up. There was no nepotism there. I mean, I was doing dishes and bussing tables long before I was allowed to waitress. Right. But they allowed me to be in the business part of it, and it's 7 days a week. We were 3 meals a day type of restaurant, just homegrown, and I learned how to work hard. I learned how to work hard and be able to get money for that. And that's where that work ethic come in for me. Yeah. I paid my own way through college. I was the first out of 5 to go to college.
Right.
All my brothers and sisters, the 2 boys took over the business for building, and my sister actually went into healthcare, so something totally different.
Yeah.
I ended up selling my parents' restaurant and had a couple of children, and life goes on. Jeremiah and I didn't meet until 2017, I think it was.
Yeah.
So that's when him and I got married.
Yeah.
So, but he worked himself up from warehouse, but I'll let you tell that.
Yeah, I worked in the warehouse, busted my butt doing that for quite a bit. And then I just got noticed. And then they brought me up into the office area, started doing some accounting work. And so I started going to school, got a master's in accounting. So that didn't challenge me enough. So then I got offered a different job at another company as a CFO. So I was doing accounting work, managing an accounting team, and then also doing the tech side, which I loved.
Right.
So from that point, I've always wanted to do it myself. And that's one thing that she's always been a supporter, is saying, the time is now to try to do it yourself. You have goals and dreams. Let's do it. So she was still driving an hour and a half to work while I started putting the things in place, and we eventually got to a point where she was able to quit her job.
Right. So you guys seen the vision before it happened?
Oh, by far.
Even when you were doing it, working at the restaurant?
Yes. Well, so after the restaurant, I had bounced around a little bit because I had little kids, so I couldn't, I had put my career on hold for a little bit.
Yeah.
I started working for an entrepreneur, and he was doing about $250,000 a year. He was only selling online. Okay. And he knew only about the parts he was selling, but he didn't know about business. Through my restaurant experience and managing and that type of thing, I knew how to buy products and keep inventory turns and manipulate that to make sure that it was handled well and you were making money. I just took those, and I wanted a good deal, right? So when I go shopping, I hate paying full price for stuff.
For sure.
I want a deal. I want a discount. I want a deal. I never use coupons, but I wanted a deal.
Yeah.
So I used those talents and leveraged those to be able to benefit him across, build his distributors up, build his product offerings up. And when I ended up running the company, we had 100 employees. We had 3 warehouses, and he was doing over $35 million a year.
Damn.
So, and it took a little over 7 years to do it.
Wow.
So 250,000 to over 35 million, and I nose to the grindstone. But my biggest takeaway from doing that is I never worked on myself. You know, I look back and I could see how much I could do better if I know now. You know, if I knew then what I know now.
Yeah.
I think everybody says that hindsight's a heck of a thing, right?
Yeah.
So when you look back and you can learn from those, it was an opportunity. It was a huge opportunity. And, you know, we had some private equity funds kind of snooping around his business, and I didn't want to start all over again for someone else. Yeah. And so that was the real motivation for Jeremiah and I to start our own company.
Right.
I didn't want anybody else in control of our future. Exactly. We wanted it.
Exactly.
We wanted it. And that was really important to us. So I did some consulting on the side for some import-exports in a totally different niche because I had a 4-year non-compete. So I had to be careful what I was doing. And Jeremiah got it off the ground. And I think just after COVID, I was able to quit my consulting job and came to work full-time for us.
Wow.
You know, the funniest part is when we first started, she would get home from work, and then we'd go up to all these different stores. And when we first started, we were scanning products in all the clearance sections and then seeing what we can make a profit off of, and we just built it.
Right. Wow.
But all of the manufacturers that I had built over the course of 8 years almost, I maintained them. You know, it's all about relationships.
Right.
What is it? Networking is your net worth, right? And that's
sure.
massive. It's. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to surround myself with that.
Yeah.
And so if I'm not learning something, if I'm the smartest person in the room, so I want to be around people that can inspire me and build us up, and work together as a team to be able to do it.
So like me, to this day, I still get mentors for just certain things, you know, certain things in business, certain things in social media. Yeah. Like we can know something really, really good, but then it's so much stuff we have to learn. You know what I mean?
Well, it's changing.
And the reason why I pay mentors is because shortcuts. I don't want to have to go through the failing. I'd rather just listen to them, pay them, and they teach me how to get there quicker.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So the main goal is, well, the main story about that is, I want to ask you guys this. So I got into social media and I started realizing how important social media was, like the growth of it.
Powerful.
And how much stuff you can get for free, how many millions you can make off of just being yourself. You know what I mean? So like you guys got your company, right? How do you feel about like yourself being like a superstar? You know what I mean? Like what if you were the Amazon, you know what I mean? Like your face was just that.
That was never, I guess it was never thought about. And we were always a referral-based company.
Oh, okay.
So this is the first year that we've intentionally said, okay, we're going to blow this up. Yeah. There's so many people that are hurting because they had bad experiences or they couldn't figure it out themselves. Right. And Amazon and all the marketplaces really made some internal changes, which hurt a lot of good people. And so if we can help them out, give them some wisdom, give them some mentorship that they can do something with, or do it all done for you and we can do everything. So there's different variations that we can help them with. It's massive, but we never thought about it to do it ourselves. And so that's probably the most thing out there is to put our faces out there. I always do face-to-face to our clients. Yeah. That's our biggest thing. I never hand them off to an assistant. But to put it out there on social media, you got to overcome.
Yeah, I started realizing how important that was when I started just seeing myself watch hours and hours of YouTube.
Yes.
And I'm just like, while I'm watching this person like crazy. That I can become this person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what made me say like, no, I have to become that person because this person has the face, they have the brand, they have everything. Yes. You know what I mean? So I was just like, I got to become that person. That's what made me just dump all my money into myself, like my ads, everything that I do. If I go on a trip, I make it count. If I hop in a car, if I buy a car, I make it count. Yeah. Because like I was just telling people, like, if I buy a car, I'm going to make sure it's on every blog. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because if somebody else buy a car, it's just, well, they know that they got the car and their friends know that they got the car. But I want to capitalize fully off of me buying a car. That's how I get more sales.
It's just like in real estate where they say documentation. Yeah. You're using that same theology and leveraging it for social media. And that's what works. And it's massive. I mean, look at your success. It's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I made a lot of money. I don't think I made as much as you guys, but for me, just to be like, I look at myself as like a business.
Yeah.
I'm pretty well off, but I still feel like I can do better. Yeah. Like I don't never hate. I always look at somebody and I get motivated.
So it's, everybody's like, oh, you don't need more money. You don't need more money. And it's not about money, but if you don't have a target, how are you going to shoot for something?
Yeah.
If you have a target and you have the goal at the end of the day, you have to be able to see that every single day in front of you so you can hit it.
So this is a perfect example. So y'all know what Coca-Cola is, right? We all know what Coca-Cola is, right? Of course. We all know what Pepsi is. Yep. It is 2024. They are still spending $1 billion a month on ads, which tells you that I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That means that when I look at Coca-Cola, I say, damn, everybody, a kid, the color, everybody knows what Coca-Cola is. So I have to get myself to the point where I can spend $1 billion a month on myself. You know what I mean?
But that's the legacy that they've left because it's emotional. They've touched you in every amount of senses that you could possibly imagine because the brand has been built that way. And then you have tied to memories, tied to maybe opening up a glass bottle when they still made them in glass bottles, with your grandpa, your father, or, that type of thing. Those are special, and people attach that to the brand, and that's what's made them last.
So for people that's watching right now, who, got a 9-to-5 and they want to try to tap in with you guys. Yeah. Do you guys have like a subscription based site or a way to, let's say if it's $20, $30, $50 a month, or they only, they get their work check, they probably got $500 a week. They willing to give $100.
Yep. So our Facebook group for that model is coming out to be able to have some videos, have some tips and tricks that are on there, because to your point, you learn something new every day, right?
Yes.
And so if something's working on an ad campaign or getting a listing fixed or the buy box rotation for whatever the marketplaces are, we'll post it out there because, knowledge is power, but it's not really power until you actually do something with it, right?
Yeah.
So you have to leverage that. And if we figure something out, I'm happy to share it with people for that. I think it's to bless them and to help them out and give them an edge that maybe they couldn't get elsewhere.
So for the average person that don't know nothing about business, like, what is automation for dummies? Like, if you can break it down in the smallest, like, just
Yep.
for somebody that's watching, like, what are they talking about?
So when you automate an e-commerce store,
Yeah.
there are several phases to it. Number one, you got to get the store opened, right?
Okay.
So always recommend you have a corporation to open up the store. You don't want to do it in your personal name,
Right.
just for liability reasons, right? Number two, I'm going to put 5,000 listings the first month in your store. So you come on board with us for one of our 2 packages, you're going to get 5,000 listings. Do you know how much data goes into that?
Right.
So it's going to be in a template because I got my guy.
Yeah.
He can do all the Excel work. It's going to go in a template and it needs to be uploaded. He doesn't have to touch every single listing for that to be mapped out properly. So we use a centralized system in order to make that happen. So I don't have to log into, or my team doesn't have to log into your store and 500 other ones. They can log into your store and 500 other ones with a centralized dashboard.
Right.
So that's, again, part of automation. So it's like, instead of going fishing with a single line, you're going to go fishing with a net, and then you go fishing with a commercial boat, right?
Oh, right.
So you're scaling it that way so that you can do more work through the software and the automation processes versus going one by one and toggling down 5,000 listings or adding a repricer onto it. That's another form of automation. As prices change on the marketplace for products, we have to respect MAP policy, minimum advertised pricing. But then we also want to make sure that we're staying, along with what everybody else is selling it for, because you don't want to leave money on the table. So MAP pricing or using a repricer allows us to do that. So we can change costs and prices in real time.
So how do you guys deal with competition? Because I know it's a lot of people that do what I do.
Sure.
There's a lot of people that do what you do. How do you deal with it?
Biggest thing is competition is great for creating greatness in people because it helps keep you sharp. The other thing is you can't focus too much on them because then you lose track of what you're doing,
Right.
and you're only focused on what they're doing. So you really have to kind of split that up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight for clients, but we've had a lot of clients come to us from other companies,
Yeah.
and they've had bad experiences. Why would they be looking for somebody else if they didn't, right?
Exactly.
And so we've not had clients drop off. That means I've retained those clients, and that's really important to us.
Right.
Because, I know their stories. I know what they're doing. I know what their goals are, because that's one of the first questions. Every client is different because they're going to have different goals. They're going to have a different ceiling to their inventory capital. And I need to understand that. And it's important to me to understand it, because if I can help you reach your goal, you're going to help me reach mine.
Right.
And so by me giving you and getting, being of service to you helps me reach my goals too.
Right.
And it's a win-win. Everybody likes a win-win situation.
Right.
Jeremiah, there's always a lot that's going on with linked accounts, right? So across all 3 marketplaces, there's issues with IP addresses. Can you tell them a little bit more about that?
So Amazon tracks for any internet that you're using. So one thing you want to be careful of is make sure you're only logging into your account from one particular
Home internet or...
Wow, they that strict?
Oh, yeah.
So, for example, if I was to go to your house and then log into my account and you had an Amazon account, they would link us.
Wow.
And potentially shut us both down.
What?
And that's so people going to different, like even hotels. You go to a hotel and you got you logging in, Julie logging in, me logging in. They can shut us all down, link you up.
Damn, why they do that?
So because there's every single industry has bad actors. They just do, right? You've got people who scam somebody, who take advantage of the situations.
Right, I get it.
So in this, that's why Amazon does, the Consumer Protection Act came out in June of last year, which was an act to make sure and verify that you are a real human and that you own the store and that you're a U.S. citizen or you have a U.S.-based corporation, right? And so that was important because there was a lot of people that, especially during COVID when it just blew up, people had too much time on their hands, right? They weren't working. So it blew up in a sense that they would come online, they would open up a store, they would collect all this money from the sales and never ship a product.
Wow.
And Amazon's extremely customer centric. Like they take care. Like as a buyer,
So that was like a big
you feel
scam
good.
then.
Oh, big time. And it was terrible.
Wow.
But every industry has them. There's
for
bad
sure.
data. I mean,
for sure.
There's scammers on the internet. There's scammers in real estate.
Yes,
There's
everything.
Yes, yeah. And it's very unfortunate, but it hurt a lot of good people too. So they really focused on. I'm pretty sure they have more data about people's IP addresses than the IRS.
I used to have the apps on my phone, the Amazon apps. I took them all off.
He won't even have Alexa in the house.
Alexa's in my house because they can, listen to you, and it's creepy.
Damn, Amazon deep.
He's my wizard behind the screen, and he's so smart and so much creative when it comes to the technology and the software and how to make things more simplified and efficient.
You know what I was thinking, right? So, you know how you guys like build stores. Have you ever thought about making so for instance, I'm in this credit software space.
Mm-hmm.
I got a credit software AI app.
Oh,
right? That, people used to clean people's credit, but now I created an app that does it.
really?
You know what I mean? So literally, you don't have to do nothing. So have you ever thought about doing something like that with automation, like an AI type? Because, he in the tech. So wouldn't that be because, when I wake up, I always think, what can I do to bring an impact on the world to actually change the world for the better, to make billions of dollars? And all it takes is something like, damn, I'm tired of sending out letters and disputing TransUnion and
Yeah.
You'd rather just have an app that does all that for
Right.
you. Literally, they see something bad on your credit, they take it off. That you don't have to do anything. So I was thinking wouldn't it be smart that because I'll look at all the people that that's like competition, right?
Yeah.
So the way I stay ahead of everybody is I spend a lot of money on being seen.
Yeah.
That they won't see. Hey Roger, can I see my phone? I'm finna show y'all what I spend a month on ads. But on myself, I spend about close to $280,000 to $300,000 a month just on ads to be seen.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because I know how important it is. If I do. Oh, I'm sorry. So look, basically what I want to say is I'm going to show y'all something. So if I'm going to y'all city, right, and I know I'm finna meet y'all, I'm gonna run ads there 3-4 days before I get there. That way, when we're walking around or we go anywhere, that everybody's gonna know me. I'm expecting to be known anyways, but I'm gonna make sure that somebody gonna say, "Didn't I see that guy?" You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna target the city so crazy to the point I don't care if I gotta spend $15,000 in one day.
But that's really, really smart.
Yeah, so that's what I spend on ads. Not including TikTok, not including Snapchat, not including Spizzy. I was just telling him about Spizzy earlier. I literally spend a lot. I have to be seen as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, okay, I understand now when I see these big time influencers and these big time company owners, as far as Grant and all them, right?
Yeah.
So I'm noticing that every video they drop, they got 1 million or some views. I'm noticing they biggest on the TikTok, they're the biggest on Facebook, they're the biggest on this.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money being dumped into that. But I spend that type of money, but I make a lot of money a month.
Yeah.
Because it's they damn, why am I study seeing this guy? Clearly he's doing something right. So I mix in lifestyle with business. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I can sit in front of the podcast camera all day, talk, but people still want to see some lifestyle.
Right.
Just a little bit of lifestyle. Because like I said, oh, damn, that trip, or wow, that car, or that watch.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or even if I walk into your warehouse and I see all your employees working, that's motivation for me.
Yeah.
That's lifestyle. So that's how I get motivated. So I feel like the same way with, how do y'all feel about that?
I think it's super smart to be able to do that because you're leveraging. That is, you are your brand.
Exactly.
And so you have to keep it out in front of the public to keep it current, to keep it, like you said, motivating for people to say, and it's not in a bad way, like an envious way, but it's like, hey, I'm living my best life. Yeah. You can too.
Right.
And here's how you do it. And you follow them, you imitate them. That's the best form of flattery is imitation.
For sure.
So why not do it? I don't get offended if somebody wants to imitate me. Yeah. But it's one of those things that we were so working in the business that it took an intentional moment for that switch to be flipped for us to say, you know what, we have to scale this because we're not doing ourselves justice. We're not even doing all the clients that we could have justice.
Because this is how I feel like this when it comes to this. Okay. Because you notice when you meet people, some people might have 20,000 followers, 50,000, 100,000. And I got my company. I got 100 employees. I don't want to, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but somebody come in a company and they got 100,000 followers, right? Yeah. And they work for me. So they kind of feeling like they're bigger than me, if you get what I'm saying. Yep. So I want the highest followers. I want I want the most attention that I can get possible because I know how powerful it is when it comes to sales and how people will view you as well. Yes. You know what I mean? So you got a company, you got 5 million followers, you got a verification, you're in all these publications, you're in Forbes, you're in all these magazines. Yep. It literally it's like, wow, because you don't have to do no talking anymore. You're letting the blogs, the podcasts, and the celebrities around you do the talking.
Well, yeah, because the more that they're networking amongst themselves, talking about you,
exactly.
That's
so
better.
So what I do is I go on vacations and stuff like that. I might bring about 4 or 5 influencers with me. Each influencer, I make sure that they got 2 to 5 million followers, right? Yeah. On YouTube. Think about it. If I got 5 people in there, I'll have 5 million followers, and we're all recording.
Well, you're automating your own advertising.
So people don't understand that. Then I say, okay, who big on TikTok? I do the same thing with TikTok. I reach out to all the TikTokers. This person got 14 million. This person got 5 million. This person got 6 million. I'm already big enough. And if they got a price, I don't care to pay it because I promise you I'm going to make my money back off of you. Right. I promise. Right. So I look at it like how I live my life is I search for the biggest and I get it and I capitalize as much as I can off of them.
Well, you're multiplying it. Yeah. You're taking, like you said, you're multiplying how many followers that they have combined with what you have. Yeah. And then together you guys are just blowing it up. Yeah. So you're leveraging that, and that's super smart. Yeah. Super smart.
I love that idea.
So that's how I got it. That's how I got to this level, though. You know what I mean? Like, it do get difficult. Like fame do get difficult.
Because you're in the public eye 24/7.
So you have people literally just will hate your guts for no reason. Sure. That will say you this, say you that, which they do it to everybody because one time I had to very much look at every single celebrity and look at the comments of every single celebrity. Like one day I'm like, oh, they do this to everybody. That's successful. So then it's just like, okay, whatever. It don't even matter. Now I'm like, how can I get more hate? Yeah. Because out of the hate, you're going to have 30% hate, but then you're going to have other people who's going to be nosy and say, hold on, wait, I need to tap in with this guy. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to have 20% saying, I need to pay to get next to this guy.
Yeah. You let it fuel you.
You know what I mean? So when I go viral, it all goes to my pages. Like people be like, I'm signing up. So it makes more millions. It helps me get another car. So that's why I learned the system of, okay, I bought all these cars. Didn't nobody know I bought all these cars. Then I started buying cars and started putting $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 budgets to the side to make sure everybody knows that I have this car. Yeah. Everybody knows that I have this watch. You know what I mean?
I love that.
And the reason why is because being, like I said, it's just like our favorite athlete or your favorite singer or your favorite rapper. You know what I mean? We literally, you would damn near do anything almost, right? Because because you're looking like, wow, I'm like this. I got all this money, but I'm not like you. Like, you're so different. We look at them like, you're special, right? Yeah. But we can do the same thing. It just takes a lot of money. That's why people are like, damn, it's hard to get famous. And sometimes I talk to some of my mentees, and some of them be like, I don't really want to be famous. That's because they're not famous. Yes. Yeah. But trust me, they get famous, a lot of doors open up. If you want to get, I literally just had surgery, and I got surgery done for free. My teeth free. Everything free. You know what I mean? Money, all types of stuff. So I just look at it like fame is definitely like top tier when it comes to, because I've been getting money since 2008 as well. You know what I mean? Yeah. I bought my first Lamborghini in 2011. Was a Gallardo, and I've been going up since. So
yeah, but you work hard too,
Yeah.
and so many people back and they're like, "Oh, he doesn't have to do anything," or
Yeah.
I can't imagine, that.
Man,
But they're still, even like you said, they're still talking about you, whether
Yes.
it's hate or not, and
Yeah.
so that's what
I
you
have
need.
to I have to study. I have to study certain people to get to the levels on. Like I'm seeing myself on Bugatti levels, $30 million homes, $15 million yachts, buying jets and stuff like I'm thinking big,
Right.
but also thinking like, okay, how can I capitalize off of all this to make more money and to help more people?
Yep.
So that's my goal.
But
That's
you're
what I'm
always
on.
studying. That's the
Always.
difference.
You got to, because social media study switching.
Yep.
And then what's so crazy is when I first came out, Instagram, there wasn't no TikTok.
Right.
There wasn't none of these other apps. So when the app comes out, you have to hurry up, go on it, and learn it very well, learn the algorithm, and take it over.
Yeah.
Because if you go on there and you be the first, now you're the biggest. Like I'm the biggest on all these. I'm verified on all these. Then I be telling other entrepreneurs that I meet, because I mentor a lot of people. I say press is very important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I want to be able to look you up and see you on every single site, XXL, the Forbes, entrepreneurship, everything. Because if you got it, it's like, why not make it happen?
Yeah.
Well, that's the same. So everything that you talked about with the press releases,
Yeah,
that's the same as when you're going to take your company public.
exactly.
Do you know that?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And you're using those same theories, those same concepts and tried and true methods.
Yeah.
You're leveraging it for yourself, which is massive.
Like I was just with my boy Mike, and I walked in this facility, and when I say that, he had trophies. Like, let's say if you got some employees and they do good for the month, literally giving them like a trophy
Yep.
is like, that's like amazing advertising for yourself.
It
Yeah.
is.
So now you got a person literally got a trophy of your company in their house,
Yeah.
showing everybody. So, and even if it's a person that's over the phone, you sending them a trophy. This is another person that can brag on you guys.
Yep. It adds value.
Well, we've tried something similar with our employees.
Yes.
So we ask them what their goals are and how they want to hit them.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe they go, like what you're saying, they go out in the public, they start talking about you. You know how
Yes.
great you are.
Yes.
So
Yes. So like how I do is like I use radio sometimes. Like people you probably don't listen to the radio, right? But the radio is still like
Still going.
it's very relevant. So like I run and the ads on the radio is so cheap. Like literally, like you can like be talking, you can run an ad for like $300. Like literally, it's that cheap. It's actually cheaper than Instagram and Facebook. People don't know that. So I run radio ads in certain cities.
I need to see you on the Super Bowl. When are you going to have your
That-
Super Bowl
that's where you
commercial?
go.
Oh man, that Super Bowl commercial, that thing gonna
Like
be
that.
like 50
That's
million.
what I want to see.
Yeah, I got to work it up. They charging 50 to 100 million for those slots.
And it's like, what, 20 seconds or something? Yeah, it's
I don't
insane.
even know if the conversion even if it's worth it out.
I think it's more like the trophy, like what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
I
It's
think
the
it's
trophy
more.
of doing
Oh,
it.
2023, I was on the Super Bowl
Yeah.
commercial.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like it's so fast, and I don't think I don't ever go and like let me go buy this.
I know,
right
right?
after that. But I think it's like I said, they get making so much money. It's we got this. You know what I'm saying? That's our.
Yeah.
It's almost like you were in the Super Bowl.
yeah.
When are you
know.
going to have your face all over the New York Square, Times Square?
I did Times
Did you
Square.
that?
Yeah.
All right.
It was about
all right.
I spent about 40,000 for that.
Did
I
you?
can't believe
Yeah.
I missed that one.
Yeah, but really they only show it for like, what, a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you get
Timed out.
the big one, they gon' like if I release an album or if I want to show like my Patreon with my students. So what I do, I got Patreon. So it's rappers that sign up. They let me hear their talent, and then if I like it, I, give them a distribution deal for about 50 to 100,000.
Okay.
Nice.
If it's a business person that want to start a business and they're serious, I give them anywhere from 50 to 100,000. You know what I mean? So that's what I do to actually build up my company, and then they do good in the Patreon. We'll give them out, trophies, awards, cash apps, headphones, iPhones, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So giveaway, I feel like with business, giveaways are very important as well.
Well, it is that because employees need to feel that they're worth something to you,
Right.
and that creates that loyalty. And you have to figure out a way to work with them and them to work with you,
Right.
and not against you. There's, some ridiculous percentage of people that are absolutely trying to sabotage the company that they're working for because they're so unhappy.
Right.
And so you need to make sure that they're working with you and that their goals are being met, because your goal is going to be met if you can meet theirs too.
For sure. Do you think a teenager like 15, 16 can do?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There was a girl that we met a couple months ago. I knew her mom, and she introduced me to her. She wrote a book. She's 16 years old.
Wow.
She wrote a book. She launched it on Amazon, and she's selling it at 16.
That's wow.
Now, she had a lot of things that she overcame and which inspired her to write the book, but it's massive. So there's no age limit. There's no, I mean,
For sure.
doesn't matter. Young or old. My mother at 80 has her own stores.
Oh wow.
Yes.
And we do run them for her, but still,
Yeah.
she doesn't. You know.
So
she
have you
doesn't.
guys got into the courses and the ebooks yet?
I have not yet, but it's on the roadmap.
Very
It is.
important.
It is.
It
It's
is.
on the roadmap.
Very important. It's just free income, free 400, 500,
Yeah.
600,000, just to, because some people like will literally go to your course and like I said, as long as you're giving a step by step guides, even in the ebook, if it's step by step, they'll pay 2, 3, 4, depending on how detailed it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's ebook guys out there. It's ebook course. I mean, it's automation courses and automation guys out there, but I don't think they're like super informational.
Right.
Like if you get one of them super informational ones, even a book that's like with all the game and all the shortcuts and everything in there, it's gonna go.
So Jeremiah does a lot of Loom videos because we do have a lot of partners that we have to be very specific on, whether it's about a listing or about a product or about a store. And I think leveraging that, having a Loom video inside of the ebook, like you said, if they can be real specific on the 5 and 10 things that really make a difference that they can leverage from, I think it would be fantastic.
It would save us a lot of time. We're on Zooms teaching people how to do things, and
Yes.
it would save us a lot of time.
I'm gonna give y'all some real game, right? So this gonna be some of them. This 2024 game of the year, right? So listen, let's say if you don't have any followers on TikTok, you don't have no followers on Facebook, you don't have no followers on Snapchat or YouTube, right? There's a site called Fame Swap. Have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
Okay, fameswap.com. If you go to Fame Swap, you can literally go buy a YouTube channel that has 3 million, 2 million, 5 million subscribers already. You can literally buy a TikTok that has 1 million, 2 million. That way, if you buy all these pages with big numbers, you put your company logo, pictures, and everything. You jumped ahead of all the competition.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So what I did was I bought a lot of Instagram pages, a lot of TikTok pages, you understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this is how nobody could beat you. So if you got 3 million subscribers on YouTube, I'm like, who is this lady?
Yeah, why have
what
I not heard of her before?
Exactly. You just skipped the line because YouTube algorithm is automatically going to push you in front of everybody else.
So do you know how big you could be in our space in e-commerce? Because that exact same strategy is why we have some clients who have really large capital spend buy aged stores.
By age stores.
Same reason. Because you've automatically, the older the store is, they have all the historical data, but more importantly, they were brought in under different rules than a new store starting out today. So there's not as many doors and roadblocks in front of them. They're already ungated across every single niche that they offer.
Wow.
And so it's the same reason.
Wow.
And they have that algorithm that's already, the wheels are already greased and so on. Same thing.
How do you buy an age store?
Flippa.com. What are some of the other
There's,
ones?
I think, Empire Flippers. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You just got to do your research because you can get scammed on that.
So
Yes,
basically, that's why we just pay y'all for mentorship and y'all teach us everything.
Yes. Yeah.
So basically, it's the same thing. Just like, have you ever heard of a trade line?
Yes.
Okay, so you buy age trade line
Yep.
or age primary, same thing.
Same
Like
principles.
I always tell people, it's better to buy an age corporation.
It's
it comes
age
with-
is as good as
age
wine,
is better.
right?
People don't know. They be like, I'm gonna go open up my LLC. I'd rather buy age LLC and give me some old trade lines, put on that LLC, or some old primaries. You know what I mean? And I get whatever I want, especially if I got the income coming in already.
Right. Your cash flow. Yep.
So that's smart. I like that.
So you leverage that with the cash flow of the stores with us. Dude, it's massive. It's massive.
Wow.
Sky's the limit.
So who is like your highest paid employee? Like what's the most a person signed up with you guys and made
I'm pretty sure Jeremiah is the highest paid employee. No,
I am.
outside
I give it back to her.
outside of us, we are happy to pay employees more than what they would make in a similar type company because they have the loyalty. They're going to work harder, and they deliver more. Right? We keep them very, very focused. 100,000 to up to 200,000, I think, is our highest right now.
Right. Oh, wow. That's a lot.
So, I mean, it is still a job, but at the end of the day, I think there's a lot more rewards because most of our employees already have their own stores, that they've built because of watching us and do what they do on a daily basis. Why not?
Exactly. So what I think is, though, if you are watching the channel right now and you're trying to be able to get a store and you don't have the credit, first you should actually get your credit fixed. Like I said, I mentioned the Metro 2 that I have that you can actually fix your credit that will literally take off inquiries or anything that ever pops up on your credit, literally for the rest of your life as long as you're paying the fee a month, of course. You can also find other people and let the software clean their credit. But at the same time, you got to clean your credit, then you add the trade lines of primary so that you can get with these guys and whatever their mentorship is, you lock in. You have to build a relationship. You got to do what you got to do to actually level up your life. A lot of y'all get the money. Y'all want to go buy a car. Y'all want to go get a home. And next thing you know, these bills get to adding up. You're not making any income anymore. And then everything crashes. You need to create a way to make passive income. You got to figure out, okay, if this person make $100 million, they're going to put me in a position to be like them. So you listen to them because I got mentees who don't even listen to me. Like I'd be like, they didn't pay me all this money, and then I'd be like, don't do this and don't do that, and they do it anyway. Right. So you should definitely listen and, go from there. That's how life works. It's all about credit, and you can get loans and stuff like that. People get loans and stuff like that for me even. So I feel like they can do the same with y'all, especially if they want to have the biggest store in the world, buy the biggest company in the world.
There you go. There you go.
So listen, I'm gonna give y'all another crazy game. So listen, if you got a corporation and it's old, you can add people on your corporation, right? Everybody on a corporation can go open up a banking account, depending on if you have a primary connect. So if I got 10 people on my corporation and that's 10 banking accounts, they open up each. I open up 10, he open up 10, this person open up 10, and they all go and open up the accounts that's giving $50,000 to $100,000 credit lines, right? That's $1 million per banking account. Yeah. So if I got 10 people, that's $10 million. But you have to know the primary connect because trade lines banks are catching on to trade lines. But primaries, people sell primaries out here, that you can buy. That's the secret of what everybody won't tell you. But primaries is how you literally get that bag. And you said it by me, if I had a big line of credit, I can, do bigger business with you guys?
Yes. Yeah. You can leverage it and I can turn it more than once a month. So you get your return every 14 days based on your deposit.
Right.
The difference between a dream and what your goal is the action that you take to put towards it. That's the only difference. Right. You can dream big, but if you don't actually take action to do something about it, it'll never come to fruition. Right. So you can't realize it.
Because a lot of people be just too lazy. They'll watch us, but they don't actually take the risks or the action.
Yep. Right. Because the start is what stops everybody. Yeah. Do that.
So do you think it's because of the people that they hang around, or do you think they're not being disciplined, or what do you think that causes, they'll watch us, they'll watch me, they'll watch you, they'll watch him, and still don't make a move?
Because they're not keeping themselves motivated. I had said earlier that motivation is a daily event, that you have to look at yourself in the mirror and you've got to have your dream board, you've got to have your goals, you've got to have your targets in front of you every single day because that's motivates you, right? So if I want that Bugatti that you talked about, which is a dream car of mine, I'm going to have that car, printed off and put on the picture on my mirror every day so I'm looking at it. Because the 3 to 5 things that I'm going to do every single day that are most important, that's going to help me reach that goal. So I have to do those things, and that is the motivation that you give yourself. And so when people watch videos and they say, oh, I really want to do that, and then that feeling fades away, again, you're talking about the discipline to push yourself through that, to say, you know what, I want this goal, this target, more than I can do anything else. Right. And so I don't care if it doesn't feel like it anymore. And you can't always be in love with what you do, but you're in love with what you want to require or what your target is.
It helps too when you get knocked down. If you have something that's motivating you, it tells you to get back up instead of staying down.
Yep.
So I noticed this, a lot of the people that I mentor and even my fans, a lot of the times their distractions be social media.
Yeah.
Do you guys believe that it's like, cause you know, you get to start strolling, you might be on Twitter, Snapchat or whatever, and your whole day will pass because you're so entertained.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So me, I literally be on social media because I get paid to be on social media.
Right.
But sometime, like if I'm with a spouse or a friend, I look over and I'm like, damn, we got up at 10 and it's going on 9 and you're still on social media and they ain't got $1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, what do you guys feel about that? Like, as far as,
I mean, that's that hole that you get sucked into and you don't realize it. And so you do have to put some discipline into your day and say, okay, I'm going to give myself 30 minutes. I'm going to give myself 20 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you have to schedule it some.
Right.
I mean, you have to be regimented in it. You know, they talk about the first thing that you should do every day is make your bed. And why do they do that? Because you need to accomplish something so that you get on that accomplishment. So in sales, the first thing that you want to do is be able to get a yes, and then you want to get another yes, and then another yes. You can get 3 to 5 yeses. They're going to say yes to the offer that you give them, right?
Right.
That's like number one rule in sales. Same thing. If you can get an accomplishment at the start of your day by making your bed, something so simple, you're going to get another accomplishment because the next task you're going to do. So you just keep moving those up, and it builds and it builds and it builds, and it creates a snowball effect.
Right.
That boom, you've reached your target and you've got your goal.
Exactly. So as far as like, I know you guys are married. I'm not married. How do you do you think that being married, you know, makes you guys go harder? Like,
so that's his favorite subject to talk about, actually.
Yeah.
It makes you try. You see what each other's going through on a daily basis. So you definitely are pushing each other. It's different. So you make time for each other separately, but when it's go time in business, it's go time. So we each have our own roles.
I mean, I feel like you guys probably is very rare because, you know, like a person like me been through a lot, you know, with, you know, situations and stuff. And it's kind of like, I feel like when I'm in a relationship, it's kind of like, it's different. You know what I mean?
I think it would be hard for them to understand.
Yes.
And where you're coming from because they don't understand your business.
Exactly. They don't understand fame.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which will make a person probably like insecure or like will make, you know, because a lot has to go on with fame if you understand. Like,
I think it would be a double-edged sword because if you have another person that is in your situation that is famous, that you know has all that,
be even.
It would be even, but then how would you not repel one another in a sense too? Because opposites attract sometimes, right? So there's not always, but so how would you manage it? I think it's difficult on both sides. So someone that doesn't understand it versus someone that lives it like you do, I think there's pros and cons to both. And so you would have to make the choice of, okay, I prefer this, and then finding that right person that does understand it, regardless if they're famous or not. That's the magic.
Yeah, see, because like this is the thing. You start making money, and then you become famous. Now you got both.
Yeah.
So it's harder to date because it's like, how do you trust?
Yeah.
Then how do you get them to understand? Because what if they never dated that type of guy?
Right.
So it's kind of like, I don't know. So that's why I say like, y'all lucky, like, you know, because like me, it's harder. So then that just makes me go harder to try to get more famous, more money, and just really just do what I want to do. And I guess I'm going to find what I'm going to find later, I guess, you know?
I mean, we're still learning too as it goes. So that's the nice thing is we've built it. So we've kind of gotten used to growing with each other and how to manage it. Yeah. Whereas, you know, you're at a high level right now. So I can't imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Somebody to keep up with that. But, you know, one day you're going to meet your match and you're going to meet that person and you're going to be like, whoa, I didn't realize that there was something like that available.
But do you think that my ambition is so strong and what I want so bad is like, okay, let's say if I want to be a billionaire really bad.
Yep.
Do you think that I will be blindsided because I wouldn't see it. I wouldn't see the person because I'm so focused on what I want to get.
I think it's possible.
Yeah.
But I firmly believe that when you stop looking for someone is when you find them.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's a thing that you don't realize because you are focused and you're driven, and that's really powerful. And as a woman, it would be difficult to try to compete with that because we want to be that shiny object in your life.
Yeah.
So how do you? I would have to be confident enough in myself, or this person would have to be confident enough in their self to not compete with your fame and your money and all of that, but be confident enough to walk on our own. But then when you walk together, it's a powerful team.
So I'm gonna tell y'all something I ain't never said. The reason why I wanted to get famous because I was dating somebody and I had got cheated on by well, she cheated on me with a famous person.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that was I was
your,
like, you know
your
what?
payback.
I'm finna get famous.
Yep.
Because I had money. I had the best homes. I
Yep.
had the best cars. I had like 6 cars. You know, I was doing really great. But I'm just like damn, like fame. The person had fame but less money. You get it?
Yeah.
So that's what made me say, I started researching like fame.
Yep.
And I was just like, you know what? I got to get famous. Like I got to, because that stuff is crazy. So, you know, just like, even when you go, you know, you guys been to concerts, I'm sure.
Yes.
And you see how like everybody is just looking up at the person like,
Oh, it's a, yeah.
you know what I mean? Just the same as games and that, like it's all around us.
Yeah.
So it made me say, man, I'm finna take every single dollar and dump it into myself. And now, like, I'm pretty sure that the person that did that is probably like, damn.
It's smart.
You know what I mean?
You got to be willing to invest in yourself.
Because I feel like also by me being famous, right? It controls things.
Yeah.
And what I mean by it controls things is like, I'm famous, and if I am messing with somebody, it's like, I don't care. I'm famous. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like type of. I'm not trying to be like rude or anything to the girls, but that's basically how I feel. Like it's like, okay, you're lost, not mine.
Again,
You know what I mean?
you'll meet your match someday,
Yeah.
and then she'll knock you on your butt.
Yeah,
She'll knock you on your butt.
For sure. So listen, man, make sure y'all follow me on Patreon at BandClan University, man. Instagram, bandmankevo. Twitter, bandmankevo. Snapchat, bandmankevo, man. I got a lot of sauce on how to get verified on Snapchat, man. Make sure y'all follow me on that. Also, my sports betting WAP, man. WAP.com/BSP Sports Picks. Make sure y'all follow that. Tap in. Famous and wealthy, baby.